Prior to that, he was director and joint director in Competition Commission of India and was handling antitrust matters. Before joining Competition Commission of India, he was a faculty member of the Indian Institution of Foreign Trade, Shamlal College, University of Delhi. Besides 14 years of professional and administrative experience, Dr. Majhi has to his credit 11 years of postgraduate and undergraduate teaching experience. He has been engaged in research and writing since the last 25 years and has co-authored several textbooks on different areas of economics for the students of Delhi University, Utkal University, and Kurukshetra University. He also has developed e-learning materials for the Institute of Lifelong Learning, Delhi University. I request Sir to grace the audience with his words of wisdom.
Esteemed Justice Chief guest of the today program, Professor Manoj Sinha, Director of DME, Ravikant Sharma ji, Madam Rasmi Nagpal ji, Additional Director of the Institute, distinguished faculty members, and my dear student friends. A very good afternoon to all of you. At the outset, I would like to extend my sincere thanks on behalf of the Competition Commission of India to the DME School of Law, particularly Additional Director, Madam Director, and the coordinator of the event for organizing this event and making the Competition Commission of India a part of this event. You may know that Section 49 of the Competition Act mandates the Competition Commission of India to create awareness about competition through organizing various advocacy events throughout the country. This is our statutory mandate. And to fulfill this mandate, the Commission has been organizing various advocacy events, seminars, conferences, workshops, road shows, moot courts, and many others, so as to spread the message of competition. My presence here is just to fulfill the advocacy mandate of the competition. In the last 2 days, I am sure the competition law you deliberated must have given enough thought for the competition, about the Competition Commission of India and the competition law. I am hopeful that many of you in future may opt the competition law as one of your career options. Having said that, let me congratulate all the participants, all the participating team, 37 teams that participated in this competition, particularly those 2 teams who are in the final round. I was in final round and I found both the teams are simply outstanding. It was very difficult on our parts to decide which one would be the winner. Really it was difficult. And I am really impressed the way the young would-be lawyers are putting their case before the bench and advancing their arguments, and which is, in my opinion, is good for our country, good for our country's future. So, it's a competition. We have to choose one out of the other for a purpose, and we did that based on the guidelines provided by the organizer. One would be the winner, and of course, other or not. In my opinion, it hardly matters. Overall, it's a competition. Someday, someone is winner. In some other day, other one will be the winner. So, of course, the winner should deserve all praise from all of us. Simultaneously, the runner-up should not be rejected. My congratulations to both the teams. Having said that, I think I'll take this opportunity to speak a little about market regulation and its emerging dimension in India. On this issue, I prefer to speak on 3 points. First, I will say what is regulation, what is economic regulation, what is the changing dimension in India, and economic philosophy of competition. Thirdly, somehow I just briefly highlight the provisions of the competition law, how the Competition Commission of India is formed. Let me come to my first point. Economic regulation or market regulation and its changing dimension. You all are of legal background, law students, and I suppose to not teach you what is regulation, but for sake of clarity or sake of brevity of my discussion. So regulation is nothing but it's the sovereign function of the government to control the private behavior or the societal behavior or human behavior in a desired direction by prescribing certain unlawful activities, and to bring it in a line, it can prescribe some punishments and maybe to follow the law or follow the regulation some incentives. So far as the genesis of regulation is concerned, there are 2 schools of thought. One is your Pigovian school of thought, another one is the Stigler thoughts. Capture theory, Stigler's theory states that the regulation in response to demand from the interest group or other groups working in the society, they are putting pressure on the government, and the government come out with regulation for the interest of the members of the interest group or pressure group and many other groups. And another one is the public interest theory. It is demand from the public, or when government see there is a public interest light, it come out with regulation. So that is what the genesis of regulation. In market, since the functioning of the government is multidimensional, government can work in any sphere, regulation can be of any dimension. It may be your environmental regulation, your economic regulation, airspace regulation, regulation of deep sea mining, and so many so forth. And a regulation can be sectoral, target to a particular sector, or regulation may be cross sector, different sectors. Competition Act is cross sectoral law, and the Competition Commission is a cross sectoral regulator. Having given this brief definition, let me bring a link between competition regulation and economic development, economic model. You know, for economic development, traditionally the countries follow 3 models, either of 3 models. One is a command and control system, what we traditionally call as a socialistic pattern of development, socialistic model. One is your mixed system, and another one is your where the government control is not there, another type of system. So in a system where there is government is giving everything to the private party, market economy system in an open economy system, there is a need to regulate the private behavior, because you are giving everything to the private party. Your major economic decisions, what to produce, how to produce, and whom to produce, that has been decided by the private players or foreign players. And the government is supposed to not sit idle and see what the private parties are doing with reference to the economic questions. What the government is supposed to do? Government come out with regulation and to control their behavior through regulation. So in such economies, regulation is a sine qua non, essential. Whereas in a command and control system, everything is concentrated on the central authority. Government is to decide what to produce, how to produce, and whom to produce. So when government is deciding everything, government is keeping everything with it, then there is no need of a control and regulation. Whereas in a mixed system, it is partly supposed to be regulated and partly open. And in India, when we got our independence in 1947, we adopted an economic model, socialistic economic model, mixed economy with socialistic bent. What we popularly call Nehru-Bayer model of growth, 5 years plan and a planned development model, state-led growth model. And we continue till 80s that model. And it culminated into a great economic crisis in late 80s and 90s, beginning of the 90s. And it created such system, created inefficiency, technological backwardness, misallocation of resources, high cost of production, so on. And that resulted in great financial crisis in beginning of 1990s. And that compelled the government to bring out new economic policy. And during that regime, the regulation of the government was within the hands of the government. It was state-led growth model. In state-led growth model, everything was controlled by the government. Whatever laws came during that time, be it Industrial Act and be it Industrial Dispute Act, Industry Act, Monopoly and Restrictive Trade Commission Act, and your CCPA, Consumer Protection Act. It is with the government. There was no separate regulator. Government was controlling everything through this law, whatever. But when after 1991 things could not happen the way it should, then the government came out with a new economic policy, 1991 new economic policy, LPG, liberalization and privatization, globalization. Then the entire scenario of economic regulation changed. Of course, that resulted in higher economic growth rate. That of course we are enjoying the fruits of change of economic policy of that time. And accordingly, the regulation also changed. In 1992, the government came out with the Security and Exchange Board Act. Then subsequently, your IRDA, Insurance Regulated Development Authority, Electricity Regulatory Authority, Competition Act, and your PNGRB Act, all those acts come with a separate regulator. They are not with the government, separate regulators, and they have to, these regulators have to regulate the market activities, and they have to bring competition and efficient allocation of resources in the markets. That was essentially the paradigm shift of regulation in our country after 1991 economic policy. Then in many sectors, other sectoral regulators are RERA and other sectoral regulators are also coming. Having said that, let me come to my second point, economic philosophy of competition. And in a market economy, competition is the first order product of the theory of state. Without competition, you cannot think of a market economy. If there is no competition, there is a tendency on the private players to create or to monopolize things and maximum amount of profits at the cost of the consumers. So, if the success of a market economy depends on the level of competition. You know, in a market economy, the government is giving everything to the private party, to the foreign players to operate. Then what is the role of the government? Government role is confined to the market failure. When the market fails to provide efficiently goods and services, then there will be government intervention. There are only 4 conditions where governments intervene in a market economy. When there is information asymmetry, when there is externalities, in case of public goods, and when there is market power. If there are 4 conditions under which the government can intervene in a market economy, then market power is one of such 4 conditions. From that, you just imagine what is the role of competition and what is the role of competition law and what is the role of Competition Commission of India and what can the competition regulator or market regulator can do if the commission function in a manner as as per the provisions of the Act. So that is the mandate given to the Competition Commission of India. And in a market economy, there should be constant optimism. If there are certain sectors which are performing or which are 1 to 3 position over the years, that is actually progress. And you can cite the example of USSR. If a certain bank is number 1 position, number 1, 2 position over the years, nothing is changing. What does it mean? That means the others are not competing with it. That means the new technology is not coming, and the market is following what a monopoly or what a market leader is doing. So in a market economy, there should be constant optimism. And another thing is, there may be certain policy issue that can create hurdles that also needs to be corrected. So essentially what I am trying to say, in a market economy, competition is must, and competition is must because there is economics behind, there is something economic logic behind. Having said that, let me come to the competition regulation in India. As you know, the Competition Commission of India came into existence in 2009, and the Act was passed in 2002. There are basically 4 limbs of the Competition Act. We just call it as Section 3.4, Section 5.6, Section 49, and other provisions. Section 3.4 is all talk about ex post conduct analysis. The enterprise or the persons, they have contravened the provisions of the Act, and the contravening party, as you were arguing before, and the complaint is coming before the commission, and the commission act and pass order against the contravening parties. That is to eliminate anti-competitive practices from the economy. And Section 5.6, the regulation of merger, combination regulation. That is ex ante. Market activities are going on throughout the year, and one is merging with another. Suppose there are 2 players in the market, number 1, 2, they merge tomorrow. What will happen? Tomorrow there will be an entity which is the monopoly. And what the monopoly will do? The monopoly objective is to do profit, not the consumer welfare. Some of you must have knowledge on economics. If you have a monopoly market, then there is great welfare loss. Monopolists will always operate at a produce lower output and sell it at a higher cost. Whereas the competitive market, there is optimum allocation of resources, because the maximum output will be produced and the price will be charged each as per the cost structure. So that is the essence of the competition law, to establish fair and a competitive market. So Section 5.6 is talks about ex ante anti-competitive conduct. If merger resulted in AC, would be merger resulted in appreciable adverse effect on competition, then the Commission of India will come forward and may restrict or may deny the combination. So that is another limb, regulation of merger. And 49 is, of course, I have already told that it is competition advocacy, and others includes it can give advice to the government and so many other functions. So far as the Commission has examined 1200 cases, ex post conduct cases, and around 1000 combination merger cases, and every sector of the economy. Particularly nowadays we are looking to the digital market, new age economy, from which cases are coming nowadays. You must have heard about the activities of the Competition Commission of India in its penalty against the big digital market operators. So in a way, the Competition Commission of India is relatively new in comparison to other competition regulator, antitrust regulator throughout the world. But the Commission is performing for achieving the greater good and for development of the country. Thank you so much. Thank you.
About Pukar Bulanditna. What can I do that God listens to me? What do I want in life? Is linked to this story, which is a small one. 1955, an unwed mother gave birth to a baby boy. The child was put in adoption by that unwed mother. The only condition that the child will be handed over in adoption to the parents who are very well read. So after completing all the adoption process, the mother learned that the parents are not educated. Once she thought of not giving, but then having no choice, she decided to hand over the boy on a condition that he shall be made to go to the best college. And then the boy was sent to an Ivy League college of that time, the Reed College. He dropped after wasting the entire saving of that couple. He dropped, did not want to study there. Instead, was interested in working with a video game manufacturer company. This satisfied there also after a few years, came to India, learned about Buddhism, and was greatly influenced by Karl Marx. During his stay in India, the source of food was the ISKCON temples. Then after a few years, returned back, was invited by a company to be a part of it. The company, when it was doing very well, he was told to leave. Soon after he left, the company was in doldrums. And then 1976, he was again called back. He died in 2011 at the age of 56 due to pancreatic cancer. But by the time he left this world, his company had left a remarkable mark on each one of us in terms of technology. Who was he? Who was he? We'll give a chocolate. Who was he? There's still a doubt? Who was he? Yes? Whoever said was right? He was Steve Jobs. And 2005, he presided over the convocation of Stanford University, where he explained the success story linked to only one thing. Do what you are passionate about. Do what you love. And then, with that, we have a shloka from Bhagavad Gita on the similar lines which says, Karmanyavadiparaste, Mahapaleshu, Kadachana. And when we translate, we find that let us focus on hard work rather than the fruits. Phal ki ichha na kare. This is the platform. We bid goodbye to all of you with a hope that here you were outstanding. You did really well. In future also, all those who are here have put in a great zeal in participating in this event. And believe me, achievements are by the grace of God and the blessings of well-wishers. Let us be kind, let us keep the human values. Let us not only preach human rights, but let us practice human rights. And keep it in mind, पोथी पढ़ पढ़ जग हुआ, पंडित भया न कोय, ढाई अक्षर प्रेम का, पढ़े सो पंडित होए. Wherever you reach in life, kindly stay grounded, be humble, be kind, be passionate. And lastly, about this competition, winning and losing, is गिरकर उठना, उठकर चलना, यही क्रम है जीवन का. कर्मवीर को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, क्षणिक हार और जीत का. This is momentary. Okay? So all of you are winners. Believe in yourself. Definitely you will bring knowledge to your parents, to your institution, and to everyone, to the entire nation. God bless you, and I hope the experience here 2 days was good and worthy of sharing. Please do share with us. How did you feel like? Thank you so much.
The best speaker female goes to Khushi Chetri from National University of Advanced Legal Studies, Kochi. The best speaker male goes to Vashishta Ganpati Khushi Chetri is from IILS. Now, we would like to felicitate the semi-finalists for the event. The semi-finalist teams were Team Code 17 from IILS comprising of Pratham Agarwal, Khushi Chetri and Rahul Agarwal. The next semi-finalist team was Team Code 4 from NUALS Kochi comprising of Shreyas Manu, Vashisht Ganpati. Now announcing the prizes that we've all been waiting for. The prizes for the runner-up and the winner. The award comes with a cash prize of 40,000 rupees and trophy. Us to the winners of the competition, which is TC19 from Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. The team comprised of Shista Srinivas, Aditya Sareen, Viren Didwal. The award comes with a cash prize of 50,000 rupees and trophies. A big round of applause for the winners. The team is from Institute of Law, Nirma University, comprising of Pancham Prabhun, Bhavesh Balani, and Anuj Maheshwari. TC33, please come on stage. TC33, thank you all for joining. Please stand for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय